Solar Group presents. This was once just a dream of the skies, the freedom of flight, of round-the-world journeys. Yet we've made it happen. But what did it take? Our dreams became our goals. Our concepts turned into our plans. Our ideas have transformed into a roadmap and production technology. And the years ahead are booked out with development and construction, components and materials, model manufacturing and testing. All this marks the progress from dream to result. Join us on this journey. Solar Group presents a new generation of airships. The best way to predict the future is to create it, so let's do so together.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to the exciting New Generation Airships project. As always, I'm Gennady Babanin, the media manager here at Solar Group. Today, I'll be giving you yet another comprehensive presentation on the fascinating New Generation Airships project. This presentation is mainly intended for new participants in the project, for those who are just looking to learn more about it. But it will also be useful for those who are already familiar with the project, as I will try to provide up-to-date information as of today. So I recommend everyone to join in. Don't forget to be active, leave comments about how well you can hear and see the stream. If everything is working well and you can hear me clearly, then we will get started with today's session. Well then, let's officially get started. Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone. I am truly glad that you were able to find the time to join us for today's important presentation. Today, I'll try to give a concise and detailed overview of the New Generation Airships project, explaining what makes it remarkable, interesting, and how it can be beneficial for you. And overall, we will talk about what airships truly are and perhaps touch upon some of your important questions as well. It is quite likely that you may have many questions during this comprehensive presentation. If I do not answer some of them as we progress along, please do not hesitate to write them down in the comment section below. At the end of the presentation, we'll set aside a separate section and I'll do my best to answer them. So let's get started. Today, together with you, we will go over exactly what we are creating, why, which companies are involved in this large-scale project, the overall state of financing, and what the project's plans are for the coming years. We'll discuss exactly how investors can make money in this business venture and how it's entirely possible to earn right now without waiting for the entire project to be fully completed. Moving on to the New Generation Airships project itself, I want to say that this is not just the development of yet another means of transportation, as many might think. In fact, this is quite a breakthrough idea. Even though it's not entirely new, and step by step it is already becoming a reality through our joint efforts. We are creating truly innovative aircraft that are capable of performing the most complex and demanding tasks, from essential cargo transportation to comprehensive forest patrols and critical scientific missions in remote, hard-to-reach areas. As well as participating in rescue operations, tourism, and possibly even being used in space. They possess that potential as well. A dedicated team of true professionals is diligently working on this important project. These individuals include experienced engineers, accomplished candidates of technical sciences, distinguished academicians, and innovative developers with extensive experience in the field of aeronautics. And we are all profoundly united by one truly great and ambitious goal to bring magnificent airships back to the vast sky and make them an absolutely integral and essential part of our global airspace. Overall, this is a significant crowd investing project funded by numerous private investors from various corners of the globe. The initial funding commenced in August 2024. This was the very pre-launch stage, the zero round, marking a crucial beginning. The significant project officially launched on the 4th of March 2025. Today we will also talk about how to become an integral part of this compelling story, not just as a passive observer, but as one of the truly active participants whose dedicated hands and clear intentions are shaping this very history. So please stay with us until the very end, and I sincerely hope you'll find it incredibly interesting. Well then, let's now move on to the first crucial slide. The 3 to 5 year outlook. Let's talk in more detail about what exactly we plan to create with the attracted investments and how the structure of our entire project will be organized. First and foremost, I truly want to emphasize that our primary goal is not just to simply build airships and then sell them. That's truly only the very tip of the iceberg, so to speak. We are creating an entire industry and forming a full-fledged ecosystem that will include the key components necessary for sustainable and large-scale development. In the coming years, as a vital and integral part of the new Generation Airships project, our primary plan is to establish a dedicated design bureau. This will be the very heart of the company's engineering innovation. Here, new airship models will be conceived, modern technologies will be implemented, and comprehensive engineering solutions will be developed. We already have a team in place. These are leading Russian experts in the field of airships, candidates of technical sciences, engineers, and professors with many years of experience. We have successfully managed to bring together the very best specialists from across our vast homeland, uniting them with the singular goal of diligently returning airships to the skies once more. The next step will be our own production facility. We plan to build, or at certain stages, lease manufacturing spaces for the production of key components. These will include the crucial envelopes, the spacious gondolas, the vital ballonets, and various other essential structural elements and components necessary for the comprehensive construction of the airship. Part of the manufacturing processes will be concentrated directly in the Aerograd, the company's future industrial and testing cluster. This is a strategic move that will give us independence and technological resilience. There are also plans to create a kind of Aerograd. It will be a truly unique and comprehensive space, a complex, so to speak, that will include spacious hangars for assembling and servicing airships of various classes. It will also be a dedicated flight test complex where all technical, ground and flight tests of all airship models will meticulously take place. A training center will also be established. This will be the first fully equipped facility in Russia for training airship pilots and technical personnel. Here we will be pioneers. There are simply no such centers in the country today, and we face a rather large and serious task of making all this a reality. We are not just creating airships, we are building the infrastructure, you could say, the culture and foundation of a new era of aeronautics. All key operational areas are seamlessly united under a single overarching parent company, Aeronova, with which you are most probably already quite well acquainted. It is this company that all project participants invest in, those who have decided to take part in the project and support the development of the technology in Russia. And it is shares in this very company that they receive in the future by directly participating in the project. It is this innovative company, Aeronova, that will become the foundational core of this entirely new industry, diligently creating not only advanced airships, but also exploring other highly promising areas that the dedicated project team will simultaneously develop and work on with great precision. Our company will also participate in other commercial projects in the fields of unmanned systems, stratospheric probes, and aerospace solutions. Some of these projects are already in development, while others are currently under review. And they will also generate a profit, becoming an additional source of income for the company. And accordingly, for its co-owners, that is the investors, we are not just creating a company, we are truly building an entire industry from scratch, laying a very solid and robust foundation for it. And every investor today is, you could say, a co-author of this truly significant and historical moment. So let's now move on to the next slide and discuss further. Here we have the project's figures presented. To implement the entire New Generation Airships program, we need to raise approximately $100 million in total. As of today, the total amount stands at over $5 million, which we have already successfully managed and allocated. Approximately $13 million is currently in installments. These are the firm commitments that our valued investors have pledged to fulfill to the company in the very near future. The sum of $100 million includes not only engineering, production, and infrastructure expenses, but also referral rewards for partners. I'll also talk to you about that a bit later. The project implementation period is set for 3 to 5 years. The first stage has already been launched. We have designed, assembled, and put our first unmanned airship, Nova 01, into testing. If you actively follow the project's news, you've probably already seen how the flight tests of this craft are going. Upon the successful completion of all development stages and the official launch of key operational areas, the company's expected market capitalization could potentially reach at least $1 billion. This figure was based on a fairly conservative model, taking into account the minimum profit estimates of the enterprises for the first 3 years of their commercial activity. But in reality, the potential could be significantly higher. Aeronova is a pioneer, a company shaping the modern aeronautics market in Russia with an eye toward international scale. Next, now let's talk in more detail about how exactly the project will be implemented. I want to particularly note that we will not be discussing the various stages of financing, but rather the practical and essential stages of development or comprehensive roadmap, which is clearly divided into 11 distinct and key steps. So we are currently at the initial first stage, which has already been successfully launched. At this stage, we have firmly established the parent company, Aeronova. The dedicated core team of engineers and developers has been fully assembled and is already actively working, designing several different types of airships. The first of these is the Nova 01, which you have all already seen. It is an unmanned airship with a payload capacity of about 20 kilograms. At the same time, we are actively developing a hybrid modification with improved aerodynamics and a payload capacity of up to 50 kilograms. Within the team, we called it the Aerolet 01, and this is the model that will be part of the airship lineup with a volume of 130 to 160 cubic meters. At this current stage, we are also actively and indeed working on the design of significantly larger models. This is the Nova 2 airship, a manned airship with a volume of 2,000 cubic meters. Its payload capacity will be up to 500 kilograms. It will be produced in both manned and unmanned versions, allowing for the efficient transportation of people as well as the distinct possibility of various cargo operations. Project work is also underway on the Nova 8 airship, which is next in size and purpose, with a payload capacity of about 2 tons and a volume of 8,000 cubic meters. In addition, stratospheric probes are currently being developed in close collaboration with various industry institutes and research organizations. And you may have already seen recent news and updates about these important partnerships on our official channels and platforms. The second stage, at this stage, it is planned to acquire a plot of land for the construction of the airfield for the future Airship Development Center. It is also planned to begin designing the essential infrastructure, including the very first hangar, where the Nova 2 airship will be carefully assembled and constructed. At the same time, tests of the Nova 01 airship and its modifications, as well as the Aerolet 01, will continue, along with the prototyping of the Nova 2 and Nova 8 airships, including the development of layouts, design solutions, and various technological processes. In the third stage, it is planned to launch mass production and sales of unmanned airship modifications with a volume of 130 to 160 cubic meters. These are precisely our very first pioneering airships, specifically the Nova 01 and the Aerolet 01, which are confidently expected to be the next crucial steps in our comprehensive implementation plan. The first commercial stratospheric probes will be launched. The assembly and thorough testing of the Nova 2 airship will continue, and perhaps most importantly, it was planned to begin establishing a dedicated training center for pilots and technical personnel. After all, there are no such centers in Russia yet, so this is a task we have set for ourselves. Why do I say it was planned? Because, in fact, the process has already started and work in this direction is already underway. The entire process is actually quite far from quick, so it's certainly very good that we started it quite well in advance. Stage 4. At this stage, the plan is to lift, to actually get the Nova 2 airship airborne and conduct its active flight tests. It is also planned to begin construction of a second hangar, this time for the larger Nova 8 airship model. There are also current plans to move on to the active design phase of a rigid airship, the largest within the New Generation Airships project, the Nova 35. Work on it is actually already well underway as well, but with somewhat less emphasis, since the primary and main focus right now is on the Nova 2 airship, as well as its various smaller versions, such as the Airship 01 and the Aerolet 01. This ongoing development is a significant undertaking. There are ongoing plans to significantly expand the operational range of stratospheric probes so that new and advanced modifications can be meticulously developed for various highly specific, precisely targeted tasks and scientific objectives. Stage 5. Ground tests of the advanced Airship 08 are meticulously planned to officially begin. Pilot and technician training will continue at our very own dedicated training center, and significant work in this crucial area will also be actively and diligently pursued. These are the initial 5 stages. Now let's move on to the next one. Stage 6. It is planned that we will begin development of the active airship Nova 35. This is already a rigid, serious, large-class craft, the first in its segment. We will build a separate hangar specifically for this model. We will continue flight and design tests of the Nova 8 airship, and we will also begin development of modifications of the Nova 2 airship in various configurations for different market needs, with specific goals that we also have in mind. Stage 7. At this stage, we will launch the production of the full-scale modification of the Nova 2 airship. This will be the serial production of the model, specifically tailored to the precise and unique needs of those customers who come to us. At the same time, we will be actively developing different versions of the Nova 8 airship, including cargo, surveillance, rescue, and other potential and possible implementations. At stage 8, we will then begin the comprehensive production of modifications for the Nova 8 airship. Simultaneously, we will start manufacturing components for the Nova 35 airship. This is an important preparatory stage that we will also go through, and at stage 9, we officially launch serial production of the Nova 2 airship. This means a stable and consistent output with well-established and efficient processes, contract-based deliveries, and as a direct and significant result, active and sustained revenue growth. And at stage 10, we begin the full-scale mass production of the advanced Nova 8 airship. We meticulously go through all the absolutely necessary certifications and comprehensive licensing for the impressive Nova 35 airship. This is already a significant and serious preparation indeed for successfully entering the market with the largest and most capable airship in our current lineup. And the 11th and final crucial stage, we are diligently planning the official launch and the serial production of the magnificent Nova 35 airship. At the same time, we are starting to design new models, both in the category of light airships and those with medium and heavy lifting capacity. Of course, the company will certainly not stop at merely small-sized airships, although these will undoubtedly be our primary focus within the current project. At the same time, we will be designing aircraft with medium and large lifting capacities. The precise sources of funding for their future development will be determined at a later stage, and it will not necessarily be exclusively through crowd investing. Of course, we are certainly not limiting ourselves to only small-sized airships in our plans. This is just the first wave within the current crowd investing project. Even now, we are working on concepts for heavier aircraft, and in the future, we will definitely be launching them. The sources of funding for them will be determined later. As I mentioned, it will not necessarily be crowd investing. After all these main plans are implemented, the project will reach its full capacity. Let's put it this way. The company's assets will grow and the number of major clients will increase. Since airships are becoming an increasingly in-demand mode of transport, the company's profits will also grow accordingly. But as they say, everything happens in its own time. So let's move on to the next slide. Friends, speaking in broader terms, over the next 5-10 years, the company plans to launch full-scale serial production and commercial deliveries of its new innovative airships. This means well-established production chains, stable output, and entry into international markets. Of course, we are not stopping there. At the same time, the development of new airship modifications for various applications will continue, along with the modernization of current models and the enhancement of technical capabilities and overall functionality. As for the entire infrastructure, there are plans for major expansion. This includes building new aerotowns both in Russia and abroad, establishing international offices, local assembly sites and training centers. On the slide, you can see the most promising areas for the development of the industry in this direction. These are precisely the areas where active work will be carried out first and partnerships will be established with the governments, corporate clients, research organizations, and possibly private customers. This is exactly the expansive and significant horizon we are all actively and diligently striving toward, moving step by step to create a major new and impactful industry, which is precisely the fundamental reason we have all gathered here today. So let's now move on. Here are the project figures. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the numbers and the overall logic of the funding. Within the framework of our crowd investing project, we plan to distribute among investors on the slide. It says 50 billion shares, but in reality, it will most likely be approximately 49 billion shares. This is done through the investment platform SOLARGROUP. Next, after the investment round is completely finished and the share issuance truly begins, all shares will be converted into Aeronova company stocks at a rate of 100 shares to one stock. As a direct result of these financial arrangements, investors will collectively hold approximately 490 million shares of stock. In total, the company meticulously plans to issue a grand total of 1 billion shares of stock. This means that a significant 49% of the total supply will remain freely traded among various investors, while the controlling and substantial stake of 51% will be carefully retained by the dedicated founders and the core project team. This is a fairly transparent and balanced model where each investor becomes a co-owner of a real technology business with the right to dividends and capital growth as the company and its projects develop overall. And on the next slide, which we are moving to now, you can see a visual illustration of how the shares in the project, or more precisely in the company Aeronova, will be distributed. The project is being implemented by several companies, each with its own area of responsibility. Aeronova is a company that was created specifically for the implementation of the project. It will be responsible for the serial production, operation, and sale of airships, as well as for building aerograds. The company will generate income from the successful implementation of the project and will directly distribute this income among its founders. 51% of Aeronova shares will belong to the dedicated team that will be creating the airships. 49% of Aeronova shares will belong to the financial company SOLARGROUP, which is responsible for attracting investments to the project and representing the interests of investors. It is this particular share of the stock that we specifically acquire by actively participating in the project through the investment platform SOLARGROUP. Currently, we are in the process of purchasing shares of SOLARGROUP, and after the financing is completely finalized, they will be seamlessly exchanged for shares of Aeronova. And you will then be able to receive dividends from the company's profits or sell your assets, let's say, at a higher price than what you originally paid for them at the time of purchase. All right, let's move on. Here on this slide, we have a demonstration of how the project's financing is structured. It is thoughtfully divided into 20 distinct stages. This structure effectively allows for the flexible management of development and significantly reduces risks for both the dedicated team and the investors. It is important to understand that with each new stage, the risks decrease because there are more and more results, ready-made solutions, and infrastructure. New models are being developed and are already taking to the skies, which instills confidence that the company is moving in the right direction. At the same time, however, the discount on purchasing these particular shares decreases, meaning the shares become more expensive. On the 4th of March 2025, we officially launched the very first stage, and already the value of the shares has doubled significantly compared to the pre-launch period. This is a natural growth that reflects the project's success. I would also like to remind you that on the 12th of July, the project will move on to its second stage of development, and the discount will decrease even further. Therefore, if you are planning to join the project, it is always more advantageous to do so at the current stage rather than the next one. So make your important decisions more proactively, study the entire project more thoroughly and actively, and make the absolutely right choices for yourself always. All right, and now let's move on to the next slide. How exactly can you become a valued partner of this particular project? Let me remind you that the project also has a comprehensive and robust marketing program which is actually what makes it entirely possible to effectively finance the entire project and provides it with the necessary and crucial financial funding. This is the marketing strategy that the company Solar Group follows. And I believe this is the most effective way to promote the project, because the company doesn't waste money on pointless advertising, on obscure billboards or television, the effectiveness of which is quite hard to measure. Instead, the company directly rewards those people who share information about the project, talk about it, truly promote it, and compensates them very directly for the work they've done. This is a highly effective type of marketing, and effectively it is already used everywhere. It's not a new tool. And now, if you carefully look at virtually any major financial institution or large corporate entity, they extensively utilize such powerful partnership tools that effectively allow them to actively and efficiently promote their various activities, and to comprehensively talk about themselves, both on the vast internet and, let's say, more direct face-to-face interactions between people. So to become a participant in this affiliate program, you need to register on the Solar Group company website, study and sign a partnership agreement, and then familiarize yourself with all the necessary promotional tools available in your personal account. Essentially, you already have the opportunity to start attracting new investors, sharing information about this project and promoting it. This work is very important for the project itself, because it helps the project develop, attract additional investments, and allows an ever wider audience to learn that such a project exists and gives them the opportunity to participate. After they decide for themselves whether they want to participate and accept the associated risks, which should not be forgotten, you can start earning referral rewards from the very first day after registration, and you don't even have to invest in the project itself. Partnership work and activities allow you to learn more about the project and start earning from it today, without waiting for the company to go through the process of becoming a joint stock company. This work itself is very important, so at the very least I recommend looking into it in more detail and considering the possibility of partnership activities for yourself. Overall, this opens up quite significant prospects for you, both as an investor and as a partner. I'd also like to remind you that it helps the development of the project. On your screen, you can see a QR code that you can scan to register in your personal account. The registration process is quite simple. During registration, you may have questions, or as you get acquainted with your personal account, questions may arise, so don't hesitate to write in the chat that we have available. There are also links to these chats in your personal account. We have a pretty friendly community there, so to speak. Everyone is happy to share information and help any newcomer figure out what's going on. And to help you go through this introduction process with minimal effort on your part. So friends, I encourage everyone who hasn't registered yet to go through the registration process and get acquainted with the features and opportunities that Solar Group offers. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So how do you activate the marketing plan? This slide and the information here are mainly intended for those who have previously participated in Solar Group's projects, specifically the earlier project Duyunov Motors. If you registered in your personal account before the pre-launch stage of the new Generation Airships project, that is before the 7th of August 2024, and you already have a personal account and are already a partner of Solar Group, then to activate your marketing plan, you need to complete a few simple steps. To do this, it is enough to make an investment of at least $50 in the new Generation Airships project through your personal account to activate your partner reward from your entire first level structure. This applies regardless of when you invited the person to the project. If you want to activate the remaining levels to their full depths according to your partner status, it is enough for at least one client from your first level to invest at least $50 in the project. Please note that if you do not have a personal investment of $50, your own investment, you will not be able to activate the referral reward. I believe that the conditions for those who participate in the partnership activities of the previous project are extremely loyal and as simple as possible to fulfill. Therefore, I think that no one will have any difficulty activating the marketing plan in the new project. If you still have any questions about this, don't hesitate to write either in the chat that we have or in the support chat, which is also actively working on the Solar Group company website. Ask any questions there, and you will gladly receive answers and assistance. So it seems we've covered this part. Let's move on. Next slide. How to invest in the project. Let me repeat once again. You can invest in the project through the personal account on the investment platform Solar Group. To do this, go to the investment section, find the Next Generation Airships tab in the main menu, or use the QR code currently displayed on your screen. After that, you will need to carefully choose a suitable share package for yourself, and then proceed to pay using any convenient method. The website offers a wide variety of packages, so you can easily select the one that fits you best. Almost all, in fact, all of them are available with installment plans, and some can be paid over as long as 40 months. This is a very flexible opportunity for investors to participate on terms that are comfortable for them. And thus, at the current stage, if you have, so to speak, big prospects or plans for this project, you can enter with an installment plan for quite a long period. This allows you to lock in the terms and discount of the current stage and gradually pay it off at a pace that is comfortable for you. Let me repeat once again for those who do not have a personal account or are not registered. In front of you, you see a QR code that you can scan, go through a simple registration process, and accordingly gain access to your personal account. There, in addition to direct links to our various social networks, you can also readily find convenient links to our dedicated chats where you can freely ask any and all questions you may have at any time. These comprehensive chats are actively and diligently monitored by both dedicated team members and experienced management, so you can freely ask any questions you are genuinely interested in and actively explore the intricate project itself in order to thoughtfully decide whether or not to fully participate. Or you can simply observe how we are reviving this industry and bringing airships back to the skies. Friends, I think I've told you everything I wanted to convey. If you have any questions, I sincerely hope they're already in the chat. Now I will take my smartphone and move on to them. All right, I see that there are some questions that have come in, so let's get to them now. Hi, did I misunderstand something? Does that mean that building larger airships will not be part of this project? Look, as part of the New Generation Airships project, we plan to build a range of airship types. This includes the Nova 01 airship, and in this weight category 130 cubic meters, 160 cubic meters, Aerolet 01 will also be included. Additionally, the Nova 2 airship will be created along with its various modifications. The Nova 8 airship will be created with modifications, both in unmanned and piloted versions for passenger transport, cargo transport, a variety of purposes. The largest model is the Nova 35. This is the biggest airship within the new generation airship project. And it is a rigid type, meaning it has a frame, and this is the most advanced model within the new generation airship project, planned to be implemented with a budget of $100 million. This is the core lineup of airships that are specifically planned to be built and showcased to the market and the public in order to clearly demonstrate their capabilities and the various tasks they can effectively handle. That's all for now. After that, the dedicated and highly skilled team plans to develop even larger and more capable models with an impressive payload capacity of 100 tons, 200 tons, or possibly even more in the foreseeable future. But these types of airships, these models will no longer be implemented within the $100 million budget. They will be built with other funding. What kind of funding that will be is still an open question. It could be government contracts, it could be some private companies, or perhaps specific targeted projects, or maybe even large corporations that want to build airships for themselves. All discerning investors who thoughtfully join the next generation airship project will become co-owners of the main parent company Aeronova, within which these airships will be meticulously produced. Furthermore, subsequent models of larger caliber airships, so to speak, will be built with different funding mechanisms. However, those who join the next generation airship project and, so to speak, become co-owners of the company Aeronova will also receive profits and dividends from future projects. These are the projects that the team and the company will implement in the future. Therefore, yes, I will repeat once again, within the framework of $100 million, it is planned to build the Nova 01 airships with all their modifications, as well as the Aerolet 01, Nova 2 with all its modifications, Nova 8 and Nova 35. This is included in the $100 million budget. The other models that the team will design, develop and build in the future will be created with different funding, either from the substantial profits generated by selling these very impressive airships that were meticulously built within the comprehensive framework of the project and the considerable $100 million budget, or from other private investments, government contracts, companies, or specific targeted projects. I hope I managed to answer your question. I think the answer was quite comprehensive. So, hello. You mentioned that there are major investors who are ready to invest large sums, which would allow you to leapfrog several stages. Where are these investors, or are these just empty words? Honestly, I don't have any information about that. Even though I am here directly as part of the team, these questions pass me by. I do know for sure that such proposals have been made, but the team and the management have their own views on how best to develop this area, and I am confident that they are doing everything right. Because as a rule, when a major player with a lot of money comes in, they start to dictate their own terms, or they disagree with the financing terms offered by the company and start pushing for their own, which is not good for private investors like us. And in order not to infringe on the interests and let's say the initial promises that were made to all investors who supported the project in its early stages, the team and management are trying to approach this issue with the utmost care. I can't say anything more detailed about this. I think it would be more appropriate to ask the Solar Group team directly, there Sergei Semenov or Pavel Filipov. We are currently receiving enough investment to steadily move toward our set goals. So Even if we were to receive the entire $100 million we need right now, it's certain all the plans we've set wouldn't be realized tomorrow, the day after, or even within a year. That's why I believe everything is progressing steadily and as it should. So, hello, how many investors are currently in the 1000 club, and how much do you need to invest to join the club? That's a very good question. Unfortunately, I don't have that information and can't answer it for you. But I will definitely clarify this information if needed, and I'll respond either in the chat or during the next webinar, which will be held next Tuesday, or perhaps we'll answer it during the webinar with Fedor. And the next related question: what are the privileges for the Club 1000 Indirisables? As far as I know, these are exclusive invitations to certain private events that will be organized by the project itself and the Aeronova and Solar Group teams. This includes some exclusive merchandise, exclusive information, and the opportunity to participate in these very events. I know that there might also be some souvenir products distributed beyond that. I don't know anything else. So I will clarify this information as well and try to provide a more precise answer to this question. So why is a new platform approved by the central bank needed? That's a good question. I've wondered about this myself, and so far I haven't been able to gather a definitive answer. I clearly see that the team is genuinely interested in developing in this particular direction. There are a number of significant advantages, let's say valuable perks and beneficial preferences that effectively open up new sources of funding for the company, but I don't have detailed information on this yet either. Friends, any more questions? Feel free to ask. While I'm here, I'm with you. I'll carefully scroll through the entire feed once more now and see what specific questions we currently have available. So how are we going to make money from them if these will be different projects? Even though these will be different projects, profits from these projects go to company Aeronova, of which you become a co-owner by acquiring shares in the New Generation Airships project. Therefore, even though these are indeed third-party or entirely new projects, all the financial funds and all the substantial profits generated from these endeavors will be distributed equally and fairly among all the participating individuals and dedicated investors in the entire project. Because Aeronova is the parent company that will receive profits from all targeted and non-targeted projects it will have in the future. Well, it seems like there are no more questions at this moment. We managed to fit everything into 50 minutes. I think that for... Oh, another question. All right, yes, that's it. There are no more questions. All right, friends, then we'll wrap up here. Once again, I want to thank everyone who found the time to attend today's presentation. Special thanks to those active and asking questions. Thanks to these, I also become better and more competent. So keep asking as many questions as possible. I will grow together with you. So once again, thank you all. I appreciate you joining. Don't forget to stay active and share our videos, not necessarily this particular one, but do share the ones you genuinely like. You don't have to share them on your personal pages. Instead, send them in private messages to your friends, relatives, acquaintances, or anyone else who might be truly interested in this field. Support us, and together we'll move steadily toward the goals we've set with you. Once again, a sincere thank you to all. That's all for now. See you next time.
Solar Group presents. This was once just a dream of the skies, the freedom of flight, of round-the-world journeys. Yet we've made it happen. But what did it take? Our dreams became our goals. Our concepts turned into our plans. Our ideas have transformed into a roadmap and production technology. And the years ahead are booked out with development and construction, components and materials, model manufacturing and testing. All this marks the progress from dream to result. Join us on this journey. Solar Group presents a new generation of airships. The best way to predict the future is to create it, so let's do so together.